This is the WWE NXT November 26, 2024 full show results video. Holland makes his entrance to the Chase U Fight song, smashing his way through a Chase U banner to the displeasure of the crowd, and getting in the ring and on the mic. He says he told us so and says he'll be seeing Trick Williams at Deadline, dropping the mic and taking his leave. Then we saw Iron Survivor Challenge qualifying match between Axiom vs All Ego Ethan Page, and the result of this match was All Ego Ethan Page defeated Axiom by pinfall with a lariat, qualifying for the men's Iron Survivor Challenge match. Post-match, Ethan Page is interviewed and says if you bet against All Ego you're gonna lose every time. He puts Axiom over as a hell of a champion and talks about winning the Iron Survivor, but Nathan Fraser cuts him off and says it's his kind of match and Ethan won't be able to keep up. All Ego goads him and he says Axiom isn't the driving force in their tag team and Nathan immediately backpedals. Then comes Wes Lee and asks which one of them is gonna come in second, since he has this thing on lock. J. Yvonne Evans comes down to make his case for winning the match as well. Out the Mud come down and say they don't give a damn about Iron Survivor but they don't like the tag champs chasing singles gold. A bunch of other teams are behind them and a brawl breaks out and the champions dive into the fray. We then head to the back, where Lola Vice is having a conversation with Stephanie Vacker. Vice says she had to make sure Jada Parker didn't advance to the Women's Iron Survivor Challenge. Ren Sinclair then shows up and tries to speak with Lola Vice about their upcoming match, but Vice says she is going to use Sinclair to show Parker that these fists don't lie. Back from the commercial, Ashante the Adonis is hanging out with Nikita Lyons and Adonis admits she caught his interest. Carmen Petrovich rolls up to be upset for heterosexual monogamous reasons that don't really make sense to me under normal circumstances but that I completely missed here because my girlfriend needed me help briefly. The next match happened between Lola Vice vs Ren Sinclair, and the result of this match was Lola Vice defeated Ren Sinclair by pinfall with a spinning back fist. Post-match, Lola Vice calls Jada Parker out down the barrel of the camera and challenges her to an NXT Underground match. Back from the commercial, Tatum Paxley is playing with dolls and talking to herself again. Who among us, am I right, when Fatal Influence roll up to be mean to her and tell her playtime is over and call her a freak? Tatum Paxley says their past will haunt them and leaves, and a mystery hand picks one of her dolls up. Then we saw a match between Shawn Spears vs Tony D'Angelo for the NXT North American Championship, and the result of this match was Tony D'Angelo defeated Shawn Spears by pinfall with the Spinebuster, retaining the NXT North American Championship. Post-match, Spears' buddy Nico appears and lays Tony out and the heels stare meaningfully at Adriana Rizzo. Then we saw an Iron Survivor Challenge qualifying match between Julia vs Kalani Jordan, and the result of this match was Julia defeated Kalani Jordan by pinfall with a Northern Lights bomb, qualifying for the Women's Iron Survivor Challenge match. Backstage, Ava Rain announces a pair of last chance qualifiers for next week and Eddie Thorpe is upset and Lexus King Brown noses. Ava holds Fraxium behind and tells them that there will be a battle royal next week to determine their #1 contenders for Deadline. Axiom is upset about potentially having to work twice in one night. The tag teams arrive to bicker. Eddie Thorpe grabs Ava to try and plead his case, she tells him not to touch her, and one of the tag teams bumps her office door into her and knocks her down to send us to break. Back from the commercial, Heartbreak Man Shawn Michaels roars at Eddie Thorpe about putting his hands on Ava Rain and shoves him into a wall before telling him to get out of here and going to check on Ava Rain. Trick Williams makes his entrance and gets on the mic and he says Ava is getting medical attention but she's gonna be okay cause we know her bloodline. He says the end of Chase U was sad, kids crying, shocked faces, and so on. Holland interrupts him and says wherever he goes, controversy follows him, and that apparently is the magic word, because Eric Bischoff appears on the Tron. He says next week he's coming to NXT and if Ridge wants the title and Trick wants to keep it so bad, we'll find out just how bad. By the time he's done, they'll want to destroy each other, and he'll see us next week. Back from the commercial, Charlie Dempsey and Ren Sinclair catch up with Miles Bourne and Tavian Heights and talk about how they're gonna win the Battle Royal next week. Charlie informs Ren about the Last Chance 4-way. Sinclair is upset as to how she's supposed to beat 3 women and they all try to calm her down. In the main event of the show, we saw a match between Fallon Henley vs Tatum Paxley for the NXT Women's North American Championship, and the result of this match was Fallon Henley defeated Tatum Paxley by pinfall with Psycho Trap, retaining the NXT Women's North American Championship. After the match, Fatal Influence continues beating Paxley down, but Gigi Dolin's music hits. Dolin appears behind Henley, Jane, and Nyx in the ring and takes all 3 women down. Dolin then helps Paxley up and both women send Henley and Jane out of the ring. Paxley and Dolin then stand tall in the ring as the show comes to a close.